Okay, that was good. Hello, check. Yes. There we are. You know what, let me turn this down. Sorry, everybody. Okay, looking good. Sounding good, I think. Mike, why don't you say something?
Mike Minotti.
That's good.
Mike Minotti. TT. Mike Minotti.
Okay, that's good.
Wait.
What does Mike Minotti evolve into?
Mike Minici.
Mike Shinoda.
Oh, that is a level up.
Who's that?
I think it's the second time you asked that this month.
Who is that?
It is something you should know. You do know.
He's fucking with us. He's fucking with us.
This is
It's it is the MC from the rap rock group Linkin Park.
He's at work.
Oh, yeah. I forgot his name last time.
Yeah.
I like Linkin Park a lot.
Yeah,
I'm not
like
like,
a
I don't have
week
like
and a
the
half
trading
ago.
cards.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
who's in the band.
I'm like I like a lot of music, but I don't remember any songs of like even bands I like. So I'm sympathetic.
He's working me into a shoot.
No, I just
Look at
pictured
him.
this dumb.
I can tell you all the members of Iron Maiden. I can tell you about Nico
Christ.
McBrain.
Thanks, James Rolfe. Really appreciate that one.
Chad,
okay.
he's so working me into a shoot. Give me a
YouTube
second.
Studio.
I don't know why it's not picking up the mic. Oh, there we go. Fix it. I guess I should how to close it and open it back on. That fixes everything, I guess, on OBS.
Usually.
I fucking hate this.
There's my
I
set.
love it. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's on time. Oh my god, there's so many.
Hey, man, you wear one shirt with a collar on it. Everybody loses their mind. Yeah, no, I look like everybody's uncle now.
Okay.
Uncle
That's
Mikey
a
does have
Nintendo
a
video
good
game
ring
if
to
I
it.
ever yeah. Everybody's uncle. That's a Nintendo video.
Everybody's 1-2 uncle.
God, I'm looking at the video feed. I do look like your delinquent employee.
Now, Jeff, I asked you to stack those boxes an hour
You're
ago.
not my dad.
Even though I'm gonna develop a relationship, a paternal relationship with you.
Jeff just got
At the
out
end
for
of the
doing a
movie.
bid. Yeah, I did 6 months. Whatever.
He might be your father, but he ain't your daddy.
It's good. Good movie. Good line. Okay.
Alright, I'm ready.
I think I'm ready as well.
Give me the
But
music
yeah,
because
let's
I didn't hear it.
yeah. I know. Let me turn off that music. Turn it up for you. Turn it up for them, and then press the button.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering
yum.
now.
Yum yum.
Yeah,
Okay. That's good. That's good. I have the rundown in front of me now. Okay, Mike, I'm gonna cut you in. All
Copy.
Okay,
Yeah.
you can do that.
There we go. This is it.
right, let's go live in 5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now. Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah.
Woof woof. Hi, I'm Mike Minotti, and I am a Nintendog.
Hi, I'm Jeff Grubb, and I am a Nintendog.
And we are the last of the Nintendogs. Today, Donkey Kong Country is opening Super Nintendo World soon if you're in Japan. And Jeff's haircut is here. Oh my gosh.
Yay! I did walk into the Great Clips, and the Barbaressas there. I forgot the stylists. They were like Barbaresses.
Barbaress. Barbaresses.
They definitdefinitely were like, nice hair.
Barbaresses.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they made fun of you?
Yeah, they made fun of me. I was like, it was for charity. It was for kids. All right, back off.
It's like, wouldn't it be incredible if you went in there and like didn't ask for a haircut with the hair?
It was a process to like get it down to this, because I was like, I don't know, save as much as you can. I did think about maybe doing the faux hawk, but no matter what they did, the front part was like nice and well kept, and then there was this like poof back here, no matter what, until it got to this point. And as soon as we got this, all right, we could stop now. But it looked fucked up for a very long time when she was cutting it. So she just kept saying stuff like, "Do you want to go shorter?" And I went immediately, yes. And then she also said, "Do you want me to trim your eyebrows?" So I'm like, "Oh, that's a new one. I think I should probably say yes if you're asking that." So I let her do that. It was a whole thing.
You never had your eyebrows trimmed?
Not really. I mean, I might have like cleaned up around the edges myself here and there over time, but she like just kind of like took a comb, buzzed over the top of them.
God, I've been getting that treatment since I was like 13. I got some thick eyebrows.
Yeah, you got some real eyebrows there. Yeah, absolutely. I think
and dark, beautiful eyes apparently too.
Dark, beautiful Italian eyes. It's your show. I'm just gonna let you host it if you want.
I want to see if you're going to say anything else. I do love, it's my favorite. You know, I have some tricks. My favorite trick is after you say something ridiculous to just pause and see what you'll do.
I love it. I wouldn't change it.
Gosh, how else are you doing aside from the hair?
I'm doing pretty good. It's Disney's coming up soon, so kind of like, there's a million things I want to take care of before I go.
Are you going to the Jollywood Nights in Disney?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think there's a Muppet show or something hosted by Kermit and Piggy.
Okay, I'll
like a special show hosted by them.
Like what?
You should probably see.
Would I just show up?
Well, yeah, you're probably yeah. I think just show up like early so you get a seat because who knows. I was just watching a video about Jollywood Nights tonight, and I don't know much about it because I haven't been to that. That just started like last year.
What video are you watching? I think it might have showed up in my algorithm.
The Disney Food Blog one, DFB Guide.
Yeah. That's the one that showed my algorithm.
It'll talk about it. That'll give you a lot of great tips about Jollywood Nights. I'll tell you everything you need to know in an entertaining and informative way. AJ from DFB always doing good work. Not my AJ.
Yeah, I definitely was like cleaning up a little bit today and playing some Rise of the Golden Idol and things like that. And I put on some Christmas music. That's where I'm at. I'm like trying to get I'm like I want to be in the mood. I like Christmas and I like playing Christmas music this early. Like you said, you're weak if you don't like that. And then we're gonna be at Disney during like a lot of their Christmas stuff next week, so we're gonna be just ensconced in it. So I am preparing myself to get into that mood.
I know what would help you.
Yeah, what's that?
Probably getting rid of all the skeletons in your basement.
Nah. These are the last Halloween things that are out. Actually, we cleaned up everything else. Putting that stuff away like first is required. Now that stuff is in order, I can go place these where they go. It's just kind of this back corner of this back room. But putting them away first could be a hassle. So that'll happen here in the next day before we go.
I went to Arby's before this, and the radio station had the Christmas music on, and there was like one house with lights on. And it's more than anything, it's also chilly out, so I was just really feeling it. I want to get some decorations up sooner rather than later. Plus, I still have these newer ornaments. Yep. The Galaxy Quest one and that Oregon Trail one. I got the Xbox one, so I'm just excited to do that. Part of me is like, I spent so little time in my living room recently, and that's where the tree goes. It's almost like, should I put the tree somewhere else? But I don't really have room in this room. I think I'll just force myself to be in the living room more. That'll be a good excuse to actually play some more of Dragon Age, which I was enjoying fine.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so I'll do that. Maybe some other things. There must be something else I can play. Oh, Indiana Jones. Oh, I might be streaming that actually because there's a good chance I might actually be able the Game Club game also.
Oh yeah,
everything else.
That's a good idea.
We'll figure it out.
Indiana Jones is almost it's like less than a month away, right? Or exactly a month away, something like that.
Well, it's what did I say? 2 days after my birthday, it's coming out, right?
Oh, okay, yeah, so less than a month. Yeah, there exactly. We go.
Just a little bit less than a month. So, game awards are going to be here soon. Yeah, we're definitely kind of wrapping things up here. We had the last big Nintendo game come out with Brothership. You've been playing that. You could talk about that a little bit more towards the end of the show here. But yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm definitely playing through Metaphor, sort of my main thing. And then I'm pretty excited for Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D, which is coming out very soon, I think. I got to find out when that is. Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D release date is no, that's the not 1988. That's
it's on Thursday, Mike.
Thank you. That's 2 days away. That's the 14th. Gotta make sure I didn't get a code for that. All right, Jeff, let's get to our news here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Donkey Kong Country at Super Nintendo World in Japan opens December 11th, 2024. Nintendo had a direct all about this brand new land for its Nintendo section of Universal Studios. Now, of course, this Super Nintendo World, it's in their Japan theme park. There's a Super Nintendo World in Hollywood. That version is never getting this. So if you're in Hollywood, don't ever expect to see this here. But in Orlando, the Super Nintendo World that they're building there as part of the new theme park Epic Universe, that is going to open or should open with the rest of that theme park when it all debuts in May officially. There will be some previews and stuff before that, but May is when that park opens. So this version in Japan, and Japan was the first Super Nintendo World, so it makes sense. This is going to open first. Again, December 11th. It's basically a month away. The video gave us a good overview of the entire land, which, I think scale-wise, it's kind of like the Mario section. People go to the Mario section. I think sometimes like, oh, this is kind of smaller than I thought. This is kind of the same thing. Here you have basically a one big ride, this Donkey Kong Country Minecart Madness roller coaster. You have a gift shop, and it's Funky Kong themed, right? So that's neat. You have a kind of food booth with some special treats, and there's like
the DK hot dog,
the DK hot dog, which has Doritos and
avocado paste
on it, and it's like Hawaiian sweet bun. It looks interesting. One of the more interesting glizzies I've ever seen, for sure. The land looks great, though. Very nicely detailed. If you're familiar with the Donkey Kong Country aesthetic at all, it seems to replicate that perfectly. We got a bit of a sneak peek on the ride itself, just kind of going up the lift hill. In the very beginning of the ride, you kind of get shot out of one of those giant barrels. There was a Dixie Kong animatronic toward the beginning of it. We also got to see the walk-around Donkey Kong costume character, and a little game that you can play with the power bands, which were a big thing in OG Super Nintendo World. Well, now there will be a Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong version of these. You can kind of play a bongo mini game, and you can do other things to collect the Kong letters, just like in Donkey Kong Country. So, yeah, just really taking a lot of inspiration from those games, which once upon a time were the biggest games in the world, actually.
Donkey Kong Country, yeah. When those games came out, they were massive sellers. Like Donkey Kong Country 1 is one of the better selling Super Nintendo games, right?
Yeah, it is. It might be, if you don't count the pack-in, like Super Mario World, it might be number one or something weird.
Really good marketing. They're like, hey, you don't need the 32-bit consoles to get 3D. This is the next-gen shit. And I bought into that stuff pretty hard.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, it was a really fun 10-minute video showing off the park, the fun little details, like he was in the queue for the roller coaster, and you could kind of see like hieroglyphics, and one of it was clearly looked like the original Donkey Kong arcade game. And at one point, you saw a barrel actually rolling over some Pikmin. You saw some Pikmin ghosts coming out of it.
Oh, God, yeah.
So Pikmin are like hidden all over regular Super Nintendo World. So now we have them over here. Also, we even got to see the transition between the two lands. And theme park sickos like me love that shit more than anything. Right?
The liminal space,
It reminded me of that transition from Frontierland to Galaxy's Edge. It's the Star Wars land in Disneyland, right? You're kind of in a cave, and it's like it kind of reminds you of one thing, then it slowly transitions into another thing. I thought it was very impressive. You know, I'm a big theme park guy. What did you think of all this?
Yeah, I think it looks really fun. It's part of me is always still so surprised that Miyamoto's there showing off all this Donkey Kong Country stuff. I think I had it in my head, and maybe it was true at one point in time that Miyamoto didn't have a lot of love for the Donkey Kong Country take on Donkey Kong, but clearly these days they're like, nope, that's Donkey Kong. That's what people, we're looking at the numbers. People love this shit, so they've clearly adopted it.
Feels pretty involved. I mean, it was rare, obviously, but he was involved a good bit. It's kind of like the Metroid Prime situation, right?
With Tommy Tallarico, right? Of course.
Tommy Tallarico with a box of scraps. Yeah. So, but you're right. It is kind of funny, especially in the Japanese park, where I'm like, this shit was made in England.
Yeah. But I love Donkey Kong Country, and they're just going so hard on it that I'm like, this is fantastic. I think. Like, hey, I would have loved it if Zelda was the second thing that they had ready to go. But seeing all this, I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. I'm so happy we're getting it. I want to go eat at that, food stand. I want to go to that gift shop and I want to ride that ride, but I mostly just want to be in the space just like it was at Super Nintendo World, walk around seeing mostly the Mario stuff. Just being in the space was so cool that the fact that the scene that they nailed that here as well. I'm like, yep, I am going to be thinking hard after we get done with this trip down to Orlando of when can we get down there again so we can see all this new Nintendo stuff.
Brad Lynch in chat says that Donkey Kong Country is the number 3 best-selling game behind Super Mario World and Super Mario All-Stars.
Yep,
so,
that sounds right.
That sounds about right. Like Donkey Kong Country 2 was 6. Donkey Kong Country 3, which a lot of people don't even seem to like very much, was 11.
Yeah.
So very late game 2 for the console. This was always kind of the plan to this Donkey Kong Country section. It was always kind of slotted in when they were picking the area in Japan. Now, you mentioned Zelda. There are rumors of at least Orlando getting a Zelda section, not in that new park, but actually in the park that opened in 1999, I believe it was, or somewhere around there, Islands of Adventure. There's a section of that park right now that's practically abandoned and empty that was sort of Greek mythology themed. And that is where people are like, hey, this giant Poseidon temple sure could turn that into something Zelda-y if you wanted to.
They got temples in Zelda.
They sure do. So I think we're going to, just like how What's Harry Potter was, Land was a big success in Universal, I Was Adventure. They then first brought it to other parks, but they also just made other Harry Potter lands in the other parks there too.
Right.
So yeah, we're going to be seeing more Nintendo in Universal parks, and like, you're going to do the obvious ones like Zelda, and the Pokemon is like a separate deal, but we know Pokemon stuff is also coming
right
in Japan. But yeah, gosh, I think this looks great.
I think seeing the kids, both of them, just I thought the Zelda stuff would burn out fast, but they just every day get home from school. Can I play Tears of the Kingdom? Where's my Switch? Can I play Tears of the Kingdom? And it's it went from I want to build a house to I want to collect all these horses to I am now trying to take the little tree guys to my house to have them, keep them as pets and stuff like this. Like, they just always find new stuff to have fun, and they just like being in that space, in that world. And it's like, oh, that appeal of Zelda is there even for kids. So yeah, I think that Zelda world is really going to work, because obviously, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, massive successes, really caught on with a really wide audience. But it's like, just like all this other Nintendo stuff, it really does just bring in new audiences every time a new kid does get into games. So yeah, I think that's really going to work for them, and I think Universal knows that.
I was also happy, like, Miyamoto made a point when talking about the roller coaster, like, hey, if you think you don't like roller coasters, give it a try. It's for families. And I'm like, hell yeah. Because, like, I like a certain level of roller coaster, kind of in, like, that Big Thunder Mountain Space Mountain range.
Right.
Beyond that, I'm kind of iffy. It basically, that was the message here. Like, no, this is one of those, right? Everyone's going to have fun on this. It's not going to be some big, scary inversion, 60 miles per hour G-force thing.
Right. Do you think it's going to be one of the ones that's like, no, this has no minimum height, or is it 38 inches or 44 inches or 48 inches? Because that's why I'm looking at that stuff right now, because my kids I think they're over 44. They're under 48 inches. So I'm like looking at all these rides that are, most of them, there's only a couple that you have to be 48 inches for. Most of them are like 44 and under at Disney. And there's a couple that are like, it doesn't matter what height you are, anyone can ride this thing. I'm like, oh, those must be like really like chill rides. Do you think it'll be that or like maybe 38 inches?
There'll probably be a little bit of something on. Universal is actually stricter about that stuff. They have some interesting like height and weight requirements.
Yeah, like
on
size
things.
requirements.
Yeah, even on like rides that are just kind of like slow dark rides. It's like, if you're above this, you can't do it. What? Why? So I bet there will be some kind of a restriction there. When you did Super Nintendo, where you probably liked it, but you probably also thought maybe a little bit small. Now, again, in Hollywood, this isn't going to help, but in other places, I do think it helps make that whole area feel a bit more complete, right? Even though they're kind of separated in a way, but it is also kind of one huge thing.
Yeah. And I think overall, all this stuff is going to make it feel like more of a real world instead of this is just a small little sectioned off Mario place. Which, didn't bother me. I did like it, but I get why everyone thinks it's so small.
Not going to make the obvious joke there. Now you're going to Disney World next week. It's a test. What is the one ride you must do? What's the most important ride I told you had to do?
Is it, now, I've done Rise of the Resistance, so I think it's probably...
It's not that.
Yeah, I think it's probably Flight of Passage or
That's it.
yes.
That's
it. Yeah, I bought the Lightning Lane for that already.
Oh, I can't wait for you. I don't want to oversell it, but I think you're gonna really like that thing.
I was like,
oh, and the People Mover. Yeah, you got to do the. I won't talk to you if you don't do the People Mover.
Well, yeah, no, I want to do the People Mover because I haven't ridden the People Mover since I rode the People Mover in Detroit, and so I got a lot of love for that thing. I'm gonna do the People Mover, the monorail. I want to do all the bullshit. Right now, it's kind of hard to sell some of that stuff to the family because they're like, like, no, we're supposed to go there for rides and stuff. I'm like, no, this stuff is also really fun. They put a lot of effort,
yeah.
but once we're there, I know it's just going to click into place and they'll get it. But yeah, and also like Flight of Passage, like I'm an Avatar sicko. No one else in my family cares about that stuff, but it helps when I'm like, I don't know, maybe talk to some of your friends that have been there, and then they all go, hey, Flight of Passage, that's great. And it's like they come back to it, hey, we got to do that. I'm like, yes, you're right, we should do that. There we go.
That's everyone has that takeaway. Everybody loves that. Similar reactions for Guardians of the Galaxy that Cosmic Rewind fans. Although again, I've been a bit of a coward and haven't done it yet.
I talked to the kids about roller coasters, and then Addie's like, no, I can't. 'Cause they go upside down. Guardians of the Galaxy, does that go upside down?
No, the only roller coaster in Disney World that goes upside down is the I don't know why I'm blanking on all of a sudden. The Aerosmith one. Rock and Roller Coaster.
Rock and Roller Coaster, okay. But we were going to pass on that anyhow.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to care too much about that one.
Okay. Yeah, but you know, maybe she's got some fear issues. She'll probably be okay on Guardians, right?
I don't know. The kids are interesting. I mean,
right, we'll see.
A good amount of my nephews and nieces, when we went, a lot of them were like, yeah, we're going to do roller coasters. Then we got there, and like a lot of them were like, no, we're not. And then some of them went on like, nope, don't like that. So,
okay. All right. Well,
then there's like some like who you think are going to be the biggest cowards, and they're the ones into it.
Okay.
And then you go again in 2 years, and those roles reverse. So, you know.
You're right.
It's like the food with the kids. Who knows?
Yep. We're just gonna have to find out the hard way. Problem is, I already paid for some of these lightning lanes, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
You just go on it twice. It's fine.
Yeah, there you go. Good point.
All right, Jeff. That's enough of our theme park podcast. Hey, Wii Sports has been added to the Nintendo Music app. That game has. It's funny because like I know that game has a good soundtrack, mostly because I just remember the jingle that played when you selected it from the Wii menu. It was like. There's like some kind of whistly thing. I always liked that a lot.
There's a TikTok of a guy like, the band that like came up with the song, and he like just like pops into the room playing the flute or whatever it was, and that's a really good one. Yeah, hey, cool. I like music, and I like Nintendo's music, and I like Nintendo music.
If you like music, name all the members of Linkin Park that are alive.
Oh shit! Oh no! Listen, I don't have their trading cards. I'm not some kind of music nerd.
Good.
Yeah, I listened to the Nintendo Music app this evening because I was in the car. Took the kids to Jimmy John's. They wanted sandwiches, and then we were driving home, and I had NPR on, and I'm like, what the hell? This is not my Bluetooth. I think this is NPR. Why do I hear Nintendo music? They did a story about Nintendo Music, the app, and so they played some Wii Sports music. They played the Wii Shop channel, of course, and then they ended with Sticker Brush Symphony.
They got good taste.
Yeah. It's like you could tell the person that like did the story. It was like he's like some young guy, and he was like kind of Nintendo music is a thing, but there's a lot of YouTube channels that do this stuff, and there's a lot of YouTube channels that like upload playlists that get millions of views from like N64 and PlayStation 1 and Dreamcast. I'm like, all right, and then they played all this music. I'm like, that's crazy. I just heard Sticker Brush Symphony on the radio, and so I immediately like opened the app and played the whole thing for the kids, and mostly for myself because they didn't care.
Now, Chris is trying to make fun of you for being old for listening to NPR. Can we turn it into Christian being anti-intellectual or wanting to defund NPR like some kind of right-wing
Christian is the reason that everyone voted for Trump.
Yeah, Christian, where were you on January 6th?
How do you feel about Mr. Rogers? You want him to die? You want to kill him?
Again?
I can't answer those questions.
I'll tell you what, it is kind of fun with the app because I don't necessarily like, I'm going to listen to an entire video game soundtrack. I usually I'm going to make a playlist kind of guy. But with this, I have been like, maybe we'll just listen to the entire Metroid Prime soundtrack. And I know it's good. Yes, about the time it's great, but I mostly just experience that in the context of the game. When I am listening to it, I'm like, man, this shit is good. Man, no wonder.
Holy crap. This rules. Yeah.
Metroid Prime, man. Fan drawing a dress. Oh, yeah. Let's trip, baby. I'm ready.
And it's like that. Is that the only GameCube game they have on there? I think it is. And
yeah, right now it is the only GameCube
and I'm kind of
game.
like good, just to like force people to listen to the Metroid Prime soundtrack. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like just really get people to respect that thing. But I keep saying I'm never going to open that thing up again, and then I find myself back on Nintendo Music, not like every day, but about once a week, if not twice a week. It's and they're adding more stuff. It's about like one new album a week at this point, maybe a little bit more frequently than that. And it's keeping me like at least like I keep my ears open for that. Like, oh, what are you adding now? Oh, okay, Wii Sports, interesting. That's where I'm at with it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think that they're gonna like increase the amount of albums that they're adding beyond this, which means this thing's gonna feel like, man, there's still only like 50 albums on here, like a year from now.
A drip feed.
And that's gonna be a bit of a pain.
What do you think is the second GameCube soundtrack they add?
It'll be NBA Street Volume 2. It'll be the only third-party game.
Will you be serious?
God, I don't know. It'll probably be Metroid Prime 2, honestly.
I won't complain.
Yeah, me neither. That'd be awesome.
I'm gonna put my money in F-Zero GX.
Yeah, that'd be great too. I would be very happy.
Okay. Last thing here. Power World allegedly infringes upon 3 patents held by Nintendo and Pokemon Company from My Nintendo News. Pocket Pair, the developer behind the successful Power World video game, has issued a statement regarding the patents, which both Nintendo and the Pokemon Company state that the independent studio infringes on. Pokemon Company and Nintendo claim that Pocket Pair infringes on 3 of its patents and is looking to be compensated by the company to the tune of over 10 million yen. Ooh, so we have some details about these things. You've been following this a bit more, Jeff. These patents.
The patents are what we thought they were. They're the ones that are about like catching Pokemon in a 3D space. The ones that they've probably filed around the time of Pokemon Legends Arceus. And then they've updated them in 2024 as they are following these suits so that they could be more targeted at Pocket Pair, which is something that Nintendo has done frequently in the past when it's gotten into these kinds of battles. But and that's one of the reasons why it's so formidable in court is because it has this ability and it knows how to do this to update these patents to specifically target the companies they're going after. But yeah, it's about like, the little circle that shows up around an enemy that like you're about to capture with a Pokeball, that sort of stuff, the on-screen information, all these different things, and they're gonna like try to finagle them and apply them directly at Pocket Pair for Pal World.
This 10 million yen number, that can't be right in this story. That's like only $64,000.
Yeah, I think it's definitely more than that.
Right. If it was just that, I think they would just pay it or something or settle.
Yeah, it's like a speeding ticket for Pal World.
10 million yen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like $5. God, that was like the first like jokes about Japan I ever heard, was just making fun of how their money has too many digits.
Yeah, I think so. Like there was like some Simpsons joke about that or something.
Simpsons at Penny Arcade. I remember Gabe went to Japan and Tycho gave him some M&Ms. Like, here, you need this yen.
A Japanese foreign exchange student in Boy Scouts, I think, making fun of the yen too. I'm like, oh, okay, well, he's doing it, so
it's okay. They all hate the yen.
Yeah.
Everybody hates the yen. Yeah, so I'm sure it's actually more than that. I think we both expect that this is going to get settled out of court, right?
I think it probably will. This is, Pocket Pair will try to settle it in such a way that Nintendo will let them continue to do this. But I guess that's going to depend on like what is Nintendo trying to make happen here. Are they trying to slap them on the wrist really hard to make an example out of them? That's possible, but maybe Nintendo really wants to go very hardcore at Pocket Pair, and if that's the case, maybe they won't want a tango and they won't settle. But the most likely scenario when it's companies like this for this kind of money, they'll probably end up settling, and they'll probably end up settling, sooner rather than later.
All right, Jeff, why don't we take a break? We'll come back. We've got some super chats to read. We'll do that. Then we have some mailbag questions to get to. I'll hear what you have to say for Brothership. I don't know why I'm like accusing you of something like you're responsible for it.
I also started Tetris Forever. I could talk about that a little bit.
Dang, nice. I want to play Tetris Forever. Cool. We'll be right back, everybody. Tight. I don't don't like that. Everybody likes that delivery. I think he sounds weird. I think it does not sound real. I don't think anyone talks like that.
I don't know,
But I don't know very many drug dealers.
Yeah, how many people you know that are on, snorting methamphetamine?
Yeah, that's fair.
It sounds very much like the people I've known that done like a lot of coke or something like that.
I'll give Tuco. I'll give Tuco a break.
Thank you.
He's not a very nice person.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you made me press the button like 3 times already.
We can just get right back to it.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's do it.
Wait. Give me a second.
Wait. Christian says wait, and I do what Christian says.
Just mechanized. I did. I want to fucking die.
All right, you can bring it back.
What do you want to die?
Because Trump
I didn't see it.
Announced the Department of Government Efficiency, and in parentheses put Doge. Fucking president-elect made a reference to Doge.
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic.
Oh, it makes me sick to my stomach.
And we're back. Jeff, please, can you read the super chats?
Yeah, I got them right here. I had them ready, in fact. Then this is not stalling. This is just me preparing my reading eyes.
I've never stalled once in my life.
Simon from Saskatchewan. Rarely get to listen live, so thanks, Christian, for bringing up on Thursday that prostate checks are also non-invasive. The blood test is the reason doctors thought there could be cancer. Thanks again. Oh, yeah, shout out to Simon. Simon, I hope it's going well over there. Simon from Saskatchewan writes in again, says, could it be possible to get audio clips of Dylan chirping Dan when he plays his next Blight Club game, obviously with permission, or is that too mean? That's a good idea. I will...
No, I'll tell you what. It's definitely not too mean.
No, not for Dan Reichert.
No.
Well, I will get in touch with Dylan's manager and see if we can make something happen. EP Idiot Box writes in, with all the talk of tariffs, do you think Nintendo will adjust their plans to fast track the Switch 2? I know consumers ultimately pay the tariff, but that may make the consoles prohibitively expensive. Look, there's a lot to consider here. I was in an all hands meeting the other day where a CEO was convinced that all this talk of tariffs was just talk, and I get that. There's a good chance that it was all just talk. But the one thing he did last time was tariffs. So point is, no one really knows, and so Nintendo's in this holding pattern where it's like, should we rush it out at a price before the tariffs and then risk having to increase the price later if there are tariffs? Like, this is not the kind of shit that we want. This uncertainty is going to cause more problems for us getting the stuff we want. Now, it's hardly the most important thing that is going to be happening in the world, but if you've been annoyed about the wait for the Switch 2 up to this point, I don't think it gets much easier. I don't think it's like, oh, suddenly Nintendo knows the path to walk here and it's so clear in front of them, because there is this uncertainty. So they also can't hold it off forever. They're going to have to make some move. But I think what they have
a deadline, right? They said
yes,
when they're going to announce it by at the latest now.
Yep, and maybe they could announce it and then still hold off on pricing will be one of the last things that they talk about.
Right.
But I think what that probably leads to is a price for the Switch 2 that is maybe even a touch higher than a lot of us were anticipating, so that they could bake in that those fears of tariffs. And that way, if they do have to increase the price, maybe they don't have to increase it so drastically. And if they have to drop the price later because their tariffs don't come, then they'll look like, hey, we had some efficiencies at the factory. We can cut the price on this thing. Congratulations, everybody. We're all making out good here, and they can look good. But raising the price like $150 is going to be a really tough thing to pull off. So, yeah, I think Nintendo's going to probably have a lot of conversations about what all this is going to look like. Connell Wood. So what the heck is going on with NetEase? I don't know.
Laundering.
Oh, really?
Right.
I've not paid attention to this. What's going on over there?
Yeah, NetEase employees have allegedly laundered up to $139.3 million in trading scheme that involves nearly 30 companies. 2 senior executives and 7 other employees have reportedly been arrested. I got this from PC Gamer by Ellie Gold. So, yeah, this includes people who are, working on Marvel Rivals and whatnot. So, in Destiny Rising, right? I mean, that's what the company's doing. So, yeah, I don't know. Seems weird. Seems very strange.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna look into that more. Maybe we'll talk about it on Game S Mornings tomorrow. El Grug, Goff threw 5 picks and the Lions won. Either the Lions win the Super Bowl or their playoff loss will be the most painful thing to happen to Jeff. Yeah, I'm not trying to like buy into the Team of Destiny stuff, but that's the kind of shit Teams of Destiny do. So
damn,
we'll see. Klaus is a new member at the Lincoln tier. Thank you so much, Klaus. Don't forget to get in the Discord, get all your benefits over there. Chris Pratt writes in. Miyamoto's son gave me a taste of his DK's Wild Hot Dog, and it was absolutely delicious. Can't wait for you all to try. ... It
does look tasty.
I agree that DK's Wild Hot Dog looks tasty.
Now, look, I want to prepare everybody that sometimes the Japanese theme parks and the U.S. theme parks have very different food options. So
right.
We might not have this in Orlando. It might be a much more normie food item in Orlando.
I think I might try to make this hot dog in the next month or so. In my own home, in my own human domicile.
You're going to become the next member of Giant Bomb to shit away half of their blood.
Because of DK's Wild Hog, or whatever it's called. Well, listen, I knew what I was. I knew what I was saying. Let's be clear here.
Look, I know I said something unhinged. You didn't need to try and top me.
Daily Beating writes in. Oh no, sorry. Willow Davis writes in. Happy Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day, everybody. Thank you for your service, Coach Minotti and Sergeant Grubb. Look, I'm not gonna.
God, this is the first time in my life I've looked like a coach of anything. That's for sure. Right. Defensive coordinator or something.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you look like a football guy for sure.
Yeah.
Daily Beating. On a work trip, had some free time, so I spent it going to Margaritaville for the first time. Was very yummy. Thank you for your time. Oh, sure, anytime. We always have time for Margaritaville.
I can't lie.
Yep.
I got sick after the last time I ate a Margaritaville. I don't know if it's because of some sort of new shrimp sensitivity I have or something else. But I mean, I'm just saying.
It could just be that, you can't trust that Minneapolis Margaritaville. They're not. There's a land of 1,000 lakes or whatever, 10,000 lakes, but not shrimp lakes.
That is too many lakes. They should take care of that.
Yeah.
They should maybe fill some of them up.
Yeah, or just connect them, connect the dots or something like that. One big lake. Get a Great Lake, you dumb assholes.
Yeah.
Listen, remember what the chef reaction said on the dump truck? He said that in places where they move a lot of shrimp, it's okay because they be cooking those, batches and batches.
Yeah, and that would be
really
Margaritaville.
Fresh. So I think I don't know. I wouldn't blame the shrimp on that one.
Well, we'll find out next time you eat shrimp.
Yeah.
Dat Boy Jerry, better OST, Donkey Kong Country or Ridge Racer 4?
Ridge Racer 4 might be number 1 for me.
Yeah, Ridge Racer 4 is like iconic in a genre of video game music that just rules in like my entire life right now. So yeah, Ridge Racer 4 is better.
I'm sure more people would say Donkey Kong Country these days, and they wouldn't be terribly wrong. They're like both Mount Rushmore worthy.
Yes, they're both fantastic. Absolutely. Jez C, who did gift 5 subs. Thank you so much, Jez Corden over there. He says, "Is Nintendo good yet?" Good's a tough word.
Yeah, should have asked last year.
Yeah, well, good implies morality, and no, but they have some good games. No, nothing as good as World of Warcraft, of course, Jez. High Score says, is June 25th a good time for a first trip to Universal?
If you mean Florida, it'll be hot. Summer can always be a little rough there, so if you're okay with that, anytime kids are out of school, things can get kind of crowded. So I would look into it more. My instinct would say no. I mean, look, it's always a good time to go to a theme park. Is that the best time to go? Well, maybe it wouldn't be my first choice, but maybe I'm wrong. These things are complicated.
Yeah,
people make calendars. You can go search for those.
There is no perfect time. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. So don't get too hung up on it, but there are probably slightly better times. All right, I scrolled too much. There we go. Sludge Reinhold. With Extra Life and Save Point, feeling so proud of this corner of the games community. Electoral politics won't save us. It's on us to show up for each other and do what we can to help. And folks did in big ways. Thanks, dogs. Absolutely. Shout outs to Remap over there for absolutely killing it with Save Point. I love Save Point. I try to watch as much as I can. Couldn't watch a ton this year, but they did a lot of great stuff over there. So yeah, shout outs to them for raising a lot of money for Palestine and aid in Gaza. They raised something like almost $200,000 or something crazy. That was really impressive stuff. Let's see here. Chris Pratt says Mario arcade music now. Yeah.
What is that?
I think it's just.
Does that game have like one song? Which one even is it?
Well, I think he's talking about the Super Mario Brothers Versus one, because that's what Chris Pratt was always super into. So that would just be the Super Mario Brothers, the soundtrack, which I think is on there.
Bum bum ba dun. That's Donkey Kong. Bum bum ba dun dum.
That's good, man. That's good stuff. Burrito writes in, hello, YouTube. Shoutouts to you, Burrito. Dr. Ryan says, Grubb looks like the bad teen who learns how to be a good person by playing football, and Mike looks like the coach who teaches him this life lesson.
Life is a lot like an interception.
I ain't trying to hear that.
Listen. I ain't trying to hear that. You got me. Oh, shit.
Well, I give up. What do you say to that?
You can go home. You're excused.
Cool. From Chris Pratt, one more time. He should create DOTS, Department of Tupa Stomping. Chris, I think you could probably talk to him about that. So
you could be leading it.
Yeah.
You'd be the chief of DOTS.
You gonna say something, Christian? Go ahead.
No, I said that he could get like link with the government now.
Yeah. He can make it happen. Ezekiel Bouchette says best game room aesthetic. I like Dan's a lot.
Yeah, I look. There is kind of a like all game rooms somehow end up looking the same. They all just kind of gravitate towards this one thing. And I think that's fine. I think I kind of like that look, right? There's not too much else you can do.
Yeah, I have been like thinking about it because it's like going to Dan's house. I'm like, I would love to be a guy that had all this shit. I would love that. That would be awesome. I'm not going to be. I just can't. One, I can't afford it. And two, it seems like a lot of work. And I don't think it would make me happy. I've talked about that before where it's like, I would think chasing this stuff down would make me happy. And then I would have it and I'd be like, well, I got to get the next thing. So I have been thinking about like what other things I could do. And I do think like I got this like Ikaruga magazine ad poster with the IGN ad on there. And I'm like, I want to do more stuff like that. I think I'm going to frame up more weird stuff as big posters on the wall and things along those lines. Maybe a GameCube kiosk from Electronic Boutique. Maybe I'll get one of those.
That'll make all of us happy.
Yeah, that would actually make me happy. All right, from Nintendogs. How do you balance your time between video games and video game YouTube content? I love watching GB and other content creators, but I struggle to do so while also gaming. How do so many gamers do both?
Depends on the kind of games that you're playing. Like, Jeff and I like a lot of non-story based games and whatnot, so pretty easy to watch stuff when, as a second screen thing when you're playing a lot of Balatro, right? It's a bit harder if you want to play through Dragon Age, the Veilguard. Yeah.
I also have YouTube Premium, so when I am doing chores, I will listen to a lot of podcasts that are very informative. A lot of YouTube videos that are very much more on the informative side than on the visual entertainment side. And that's how I'm able to listen to a lot of stuff. Like I've listened to like all the gaming historian stuff, and I probably watched only a couple minutes of it because I have been instead listening to it while doing the dishes and stuff like that. Willow Davis says, can Mike say football, gritty and loud? Just football, but say it gritty and loud.
Football!
That's gritty and loud. Perfect. No notes. Got it in one take. Connell Wood, shout out to Desert Bus for Hope. Absolutely. Shout outs to them as well.
I love that they're still doing. I mean, they've been doing Desert Bus for Hope since like the 360 era, right?
Yeah, it's like one of the earlier sort of marathon streams for a charity that I can remember. And yeah, I love this. I guess people that they might not know, Desert Bus is they play an old mini game from a Penn and Teller Sega CD game that didn't come out.
Yeah, it was a Penn and Teller Sega CD game with just a bunch of like mini games and FMV of Penn and Teller. And guys, there's probably people now who are like, who are Penn and Teller? Yeah. Right, a magician comedy duo.
That's right. Yeah.
And, like, the game was done. They just didn't release it because the Sega CD counter was losing steam or for whatever reason. But, like, one of the mini games was this thing called Desert Bus. And it was them making fun of the idea of video games becoming more realistic. It was actually kind of clever and meta. But the whole point is you were just a truck driver on this really long, like, actual straight highway through the desert, making a trip from one place to back.
Like to, I think from like Reno to Vegas or something, or LA to Vegas, something like that.
But like your truck is constantly like veering a little bit to like
it
the
just
left
like
or something.
lists to the right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't just not pay attention. You do every once in a while like push a button to straighten it out a bit. And like doing a full run of it takes hours. Like it takes a long time. So Desert Bus for Hope started in 2007. And yeah, they just run the game for kind of a very, very long time. Again, just playing this thing, this Desert Bus thing, which its existence is just so wacky and incredible to me. I love it.
Yeah, it's Tucson to Vegas in real time, which I love that. That's a good idea. They did like a Desert Bus VR, right? That stuff happened. There's been like updates to Desert Bus and other things like that. I don't know. I should check that out. All right, let's see here from Ecto Coolest. Yes, Ecto Coolest. Do you guys have a favorite limited edition Nintendo console?
I mostly only care about the handhelds for that kind of stuff, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I like the see-through vibrant color N64s. They've been popping up on my Facebook Marketplace, and I keep thinking about maybe getting one like the clear plastic orange, neon orange N64. That stuff is cool. But I like the NES style Game Boy Advance SP.
I was going to say that one, dude. Yeah, the GBA SP that looked like an NES. That was really cool. I do like my 3DS XL, the Majora's Mask one, right? Like that, that was great. That's like that became like my final form 3DS.
Same
right?
here.
That is my 3DS.
That's the one I have charging like right now. Although I really like the I think it was not I don't think it was new 3DS XL. I think it must have been a new or just a 3DS XL. It was a Mario and Luigi one. I like that one a lot too. So,
wow.
What do you think of that?
Neither of these guys have the Samus Edition new 3DS XL. Real big Metroid fans, huh?
I did not have that. No. Yeah.
Now I'm kind of mad. What did that thing look like? Oh, that thing. Yeah, actually,
it's gaudy.
It's a little gaudy. It's not bad though. I wouldn't hate having it. What do you think of that Pikachu in 64? Because I hate it.
I think it's ugly in a interesting way.
Oh, that's what people say about the PS5, and I get mad.
I say that about the PS5. No one else says that. Everyone else says that it's just ugly. But I like the way it's ugly.
They're right. They're correct. It's ugly. It's an ugly console for people that have bad taste.
All right, you enjoy your black boxes for
now
and forever.
I have to like ugly things. I have to look in the mirror sometimes. So, Empanada Eater says, Grubb, can you give a quick rundown of what resources you've used to plan your Disney trip? Hoping to get in the next year or two, but no idea where to start looking. Thanks. Yeah, I did use one of the...
Mike Minotti.
Well, Mike Minotti definitely helps. But Mike Minotti told me, he's like, just use one of those Disney trip planners. They'll do it for free because they get commission from Disney. And that's exactly what we did. And they mostly planned... they helped us plan everything, like the dining meals, all these other things, getting the hotel. But then when it came down to, okay, now it's time to get your Lightning Lane stuff, I just got the Disney World app, Disney Experience, and went in there, and I because of the packet I got from the lady who helped us plan our trip, I knew when to be on the app to get that stuff as early as possible. I was there ready to go 7 a.m. this past Sunday, and I did that. And then since then, I've gone into Genie, not Genie Plus. I guess that's done, but Genie is still there, which is in the Disney World app. And it's like, hey, tell us the kinds of things you want to do. Here's a list of things that are going to be in each park. Just click, a certain number of these. There's a limit. And we will try to make an itinerary for you to fit these things in as best we can. And that's been kind of like a relief as well. It's, we have a general structure here of what we should be doing. And then I also, having been to Disneyland with Mike, I'm like, you also just kind of go with the flow. If you see something in front of you want to do, just go do it. That's actually going to be the best experience. So it's been kind of like this tiered structure of working with someone that is going to get a commission from Disney, let them do a lot of the heavy lifting, then getting into the app, doing what you can there, but not sweating it too much, and then planning to go there and just say, hey, let's, whatever comes to us, we're going to do that. I think that does it for the Super Chats, Mike. Back over to you.
All right, let's take another quick break, then we'll come right back. We'll get to the mailbag.
Break, Rooney.
All right, let's just do it.
I really like your Your Avatar. I rewatch Porco Rosso on the weekend, and damn, that movie. Is
Porco Rosso
Porco
rules.
Rosso is very good.
That's so good.
All right. But
Are we
ready?
gonna choose?
Yeah, we just did it.
All right.
All right, Jeff, be a good dog and go attack a mailman.
All
All right. Okay, that's enough. Thank you. They're a little wet, but still appreciate you getting these letters for me. All right. This is from the mailbag, in case you couldn't tell. This is from Bayleaf Moon. What's the standout Nintendo backlog game you need to get to? Snowboard Kids for N64? I wouldn't mind playing Snowboard Kids, but I still feel bad not having beaten Earthbound. So that's the one I have the most guilt about is Earthbound. And then Mother 3 after that.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know. I'm like trying to think of like recent stuff that I haven't played on the Switch. Played most stuff I wanted to play on there. I guess I do occasionally. What's the beat 'em up game from? Is it not Platinum? Or maybe it is Platinum.
Astral Chain?
Yeah, Astral Chain. I occasionally.
You always think bad about Astral Chain. I'm like, Jeff, it's about anime cops.
Yeah, you're right, exactly. And then I do remember that. I'm like, that's probably why I didn't play it. But I think the game looks cool whenever I see screenshots. So I'm like, I should at least try this. I know I won't like it, but I want to try it.
Jamie H1224 says, do you think Switch still overtakes PS2 in lifetime sales? Currently at 142 million, so their forecast is 12.5 million for fiscal year 2025. We'll put it at 154.5 million, still shy of the 155 to 160 million sales of PS2.
It'll be close. I think it'll probably squeak past it. Especially if they do cut the price, which I guess is a possibility. Although again, with tariffs, who knows? But yeah, I think it'll squeak past it. It'll just be a very narrow margin.
Joyzy says, hey Jeff, can you let Mike know that Vin Diesel's first name is Mark? Thanks.
Yeah. Vin Diesel's first name is Mark. He's Mark Diesel.
That's interesting, man. For some reason, Vin Diesel was the butt of a lot of jokes in my friend group in high school. Like, we would just kind of sit there and make up stories about Vin Diesel and laugh about it. And this was like 2004.
What kind of stories?
We would just be in a room. Like, imagine if Vin Diesel just drove a car through those right now. Was just here and his like. This was even before people were making the salute me familia jokes, right? This was mostly about Riddick to us at the time. So yeah, it would have been.
There is something inherently funny about Mark Diesel.
Yeah, you're right. He's that's
not his name. Do you want to know his real name?
Sure.
Which is
yes.
Is Mark Sinclair Vincent.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Sinclair.
He'll always be Mark Diesel to me.
That's the name of the dinosaurs from the Jim Henson show, Dinosaurs.
Sure. So, yes, that's right.
The Sinclairs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like I love him as he's Latino to me. In my heart, he's not.
Sure.
But I'll accept him.
How dare you try to take him away from my kind? Right? He's Italian, right?
I think he's at least part Italian.
Yes, sure. He can be whatever he wants. You know what I mean?
He kind of can, actually. He kind of gets slotted anywher. It's a special gift of it.
He's been cosplaying as Cuban, Puerto Rican, anything. He has range. What do you want to say?
Adam Juice says, with the recent announcement of Overwatch Classic, are there any other games, live service or otherwise, that you'd like to see go back to basics and offer a classic experience? Is 8 years too soon to offer a classic experience? I don't know if they did this for Hearthstone, but I would love it if it was like, here's Hearthstone with just the base set again. Only use the cards from that original thing. Back when you would just play a card because it had good stats, right? And not like incredible weird text that synergized with like 20 other cards and your deck and cause an animation of a volcano sprouting out from the board and shooting angels into the air that would then like suffocate your opponent with a pillow and you automatically won, right?
Yeah, it's just a bit too much. Yeah, sure.
8 years is not too soon.
No,
8
8 years
is so long.
8 years is much longer time than it maybe feels like right now because of time dilation or other stuff. But 8 years is more than a console generation.
Doug may say they did do a classic mode and nobody played it, so there you go.
All right, I was gonna say my answer was gonna be PUBG, but I think they did classic PUBG as well. But I think what I really want them to do is wipe out everything they've done and just kind of restart from base PUBG. and do a completely different like timeline where instead of adding new maps, they just updated the original Erangel map or whatever it's called. Erangel.
Oh my god!
map.
Yes, for the love of God,
They should-
I want that so bad.
Yeah, just do that and like do fun things like Fortnite does, because that was clearly the right move as opposed to adding new maps.
Yeah, that short time where they only put Erangel, I played the most in years of that game. So
Yep.
please do that.
Jim says, "Hey, dogs! I've been surprised by some boss fights recently with Metal Gear 1, which you fight a tank, then Alan Wake 1, in which you fight an Earth Mover. Can I get a quick Mount Rushmore of vehicle fights?" Oh, that's interesting. Fights just against. I mean, does any Metal Gear count as a vehicle? Kind of bipedal.
What's the helicopter? A Hind D? Do you like? Isn't that like a?
Yeah, the Hind D is great, and then you fight that fighter jet in Metal Gear Solid 2. When he says Metal Gear 1, I assume he means Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and then you fight the Hind D.
No one listening to the show's talking about Metal Gear 1 for the MSX.
No, you're right. I think, man, most of the ones I can think of certainly are from the Metal Gear Solid
definitely.
series. Right?
Yeah.
There must be some.
There was this one game where you kind of fight a big Earth Mover as RoboCop, but mostly it just runs you over when you go to the end of a hallway, and we laugh at Mike when it happens to him.
Yeah, it's true. There's a good suggestion from chat. There's that tank in Uncharted 2 that follows you around for a while. The Phantom Train from Final Fantasy 6 for sure should be there.
Oh, that's good.
So,
That's real. Yes.
Yeah.
God, I do think about that fight a lot.
It's amazing. God, when I played that game again this year, I'm like, God, yeah, fighting this train just rules. How can you ever forget fighting a train?
Yep.
It's incredible.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Maybe we should actually do a full-blown Mount Rushmore about that sometime. That's fun. Okay. Always Be Clothing says, "Dear pups, why are you crushing Jan's dream of being a 999
999
hot dog influencer?" Oh, 999, my bad. Also, Jeff, Disney World trip recap episode of 90s Disney, please. He's not invited.
No, but I will. I'll just keep sending letters to them until they acknowledge me.
No, that's all content. Don't give away the content.
Look, they're not going to let Jan eat a hot dog on the ride, no matter how much Dan tries to manifest it without thinking he's manifesting things.
Now you are aware of what he did. The video of them riding the one ride
but
over.
that was
over
at a dirty amusement park.
Okay, all right, sure.
They wouldn't have. There's robots and stuff on that ride. They're not going to let food particles near that shit.
Okay, sure. You definitely would know better. I just they let him have like the random loose 3DSs or whatever. But you're right. Dirty theme park versus Universal. They would know better.
Is this some racist shit between like the Disney people and like the parks?
No. It's not racist. It's classist.
It's classist. Oh, there we go.
It's fine.
The higher form of prejudice.
Also, you like those robots? I thought you hated robots. The other day we were playing Call of Duty, and you were very adamant about not saying the word clanker. You were like pretty close to saying.
Man, I have no memory. No, I love whatever animatronics are. Look, I don't know if you would call those robots really. I was using a more common phrase for the people here, but animatronics rule.
God,
they don't have emotions.
All right.
When I'm at theme parks from now on, I am going to refer to animatronics as clankers and pretend to be really racist against robots. That's going to be a fun bit I do.
Ratchet
Wow, you
clankers.
said the C word.
Yeah. Ali Miracle says, "You two would love Fortune Street. I am with Sean on this one." Man, some people really did not like Fortune Street. I'm just like, this is Monopoly.
Who didn't like it, Mike?
It was
It's a
Sean.
mystery.
It was just Sean and Kayla who didn't like it.
Yeah, weird how the old dudes in the room were super into the game about like managing your finances, and the young people were like, "Man, this shit's boring."
But like, I played Monopoly all the time with my friends when I was like 17. Do
so
people not play
Because
Monopoly?
you're a nerd, dude.
But there were a lot of people.
What are you, a jock?
There were a lot of people on
What are you,
Reddit who were like, "Wait, well, I want to see them play more Fortress. I want to see them play the real thing." So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make that happen.
That's the problem is you guys picked the in between.
Yeah. Listen,
you didn't know what you're doing.
I'm right there with you complaining about that. That was bad.
Yeah, I had fun with it. I'm
Weird.
down to play more Fortune Street. My favorite version of Monopoly we had was the one me and my friends always played was the live action Grinch Monopoly. Whovillopoly it was called. And there's really funny sentences that would happen from that. Like, I want to trade you the rare Who's roast beast for the biddies. The biddies was like the Grinch's ghetto. It was like the very first one was the biddy.
You know what? I was about to make fun of you, but now that you say that, I'm not.
Yeah, you won me over with Grinch's ghetto.
The biddies, right? Like my one friend was getting real upset that like the person wasn't accepting his trade for the biddies. Or whatever.
I'm gonna now when I'm in a rough part of town, I'm gonna refer to that as the biddies.
Yeah, I actually, I think I still have my copy of Whovilleopoly. We loved it. We adored it. Chuck Toski says there's a concept of a coaching tree in the NFL. Coaches who hired well and whose hires went on to become good coaches themselves. Applying this to game development, any good studios you can think of that have an impressive tree of producers and studios. Bonus points if they're defunct or just being used as a brand.
Yeah, it's Infinity Ward, right? They spun off Respawn, and now Respawn has spun off a bunch of new studios that are all making stuff right now that are probably going to be very good. It's also Blizzard recently, where there's a lot of studios that have spun out of Blizzard, and they're starting to put out some of their games, a handful of like RTSs and stuff. There's probably better examples in the past, but that's what I could think of.
I think in general it's a problem that we don't have this enough, right? Like we had the Smash Bros guy, gosh, I don't know why I'm blanking on the name, Sakura.
So
right?
yeah. Sakurai. Yeah.
Saying like, it's like didn't really take the time to train somebody to kind of like be able to do my job while making the last Smash Brothers. Like you get why that happens. He's incredibly busy, and there is so much stuff that probably just he knows, and it's just easier for him to be like, I'll just go and do it.
Yeah.
Than be like, hey, you come with me, and I'm gonna like slow down and show you how to do it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff becomes difficult. Now I think that there have been people who've come up through Nintendo and have been able to take charge in projects and whatnot. But yes, it's certainly something we need more of.
Yeah. Did Ion Storm Ion Storm had a bunch of stuff like spill out of that would go on to make a bunch of
Warren
influential games.
Spector came out there, but the Warren Spector I think also maybe even started before that, like freaking the Ultima company and stuff like that, right? Like he made Ultima Underground, right?
I guess that goes back to id too, which
right. Yeah, so like maybe like old school Sierra, right? Or LucasArts.
Oh yeah, old school Sierra is a good one. Yeah,
right. Next up here, some Screaming Madness says, hey there, last of the Donkey Kong Wild Hot Dogs. If you had to choose one other Donkey Kong Country character to get the Donkey Kong suit and meet and greet treatment for Donkey Kong Country Land at Universal, who would you pick?
Candy Kong!
I was going to say, do you want to say Candy Kong or should I? It would be like Kayla's inflatable gingerbread suit, but just for the chest.
Yeah.
It would have a fan.
Oh, man.
Candy Kong is such an unhinged character.
It was really like,
I hate her.
Someone should have stepped in here. Some authority, someone from Nintendo should have stopped this. Yeah, Candy Kong is just heinous.
The one I would be the most excited to see and get my picture with would be Funky Kong. If like I saw Funky Kong, I'd be like, I'm getting in line to get that picture for sure.
Yep, absolutely. Funky Kong is incredible.
Weezeman says, hey, out of my doggos, I've been wondering what exactly is a Disney adult? How did you know you were one? My partner has Disney tattoos and doesn't consider themselves a Disney adult, and I think they are. Who's right, Mike? Yeah, it sounds to me like they're probably a Disney adult. It's just an adult who likes Disney a lot, and you don't have to be childless, but it helps even more. Like when people talk about them with derision, they are referring to childless millennials going to the Disney parks by themselves and having fun, which is greatly upsetting to a lot of people, I suppose.
Yeah, weird to be bothered by that, but it's I remember we asked you and Bailey and Jenny Nicholson, like, hey, what's a Disney adult? Is it someone who likes the parks more, the movies more? I think you all three said there was people that like the movies more at the time.
I said parks. I thought parks.
Maybe you did say parks.
I disagreed with them.
Okay, that sounds right. Yes. And it's like, I think it's in general these days. I think most people think of people who prefer the parks.
Ben JC says, Mike, when will you beat Dawn Trail? 7.1 is out with the Final Fantasy 11 raid. Also need you to turn around Dawn Trail.
He's not allowed.
Good. Yeah, I didn't think it was allowed quite yet. It's soon though.
He's not allowed. He's not allowed to like.
I'm not allowed. It is out. I'm not allowed. Why am I not allowed?
Because he's mad at you for not finishing Dawn Trail.
But I will finish it then.
What if instead you and I just got super into Final Fantasy 11?
No, I tried. I tried playing Final Fantasy 11 recently.
Oh.
It's rough. That's weird.
It's good. It's old. Well, that's the only. Oh, you don't play old games. Oh, wow.
Damn it, my expressive face. I didn't mean to roll my eyes at him. Look, I kind of accomplished what I wanted to in World of Warcraft for now, so I do think I am going to go back to Final Fantasy 14 here soon, and especially with the new Alliance raid. Those are always very fun. So yeah, I will. I'll get back to Dawn Show. I promise. The Uncharted Wolf says, "What's up, dogs? Am I wrong in feeling that Nintendo music updates are way too slow? As someone who uses it in areas without Wi-Fi, the download feature is a godsend. I noticed the rate of soundtracks slowed down after we got Donkey Kong Country 2 and Mario Wonder back to back. Is this just a me issue? What rate should these soundtracks come out ideally? Oh, it seems too slow. It should be like 3 a week, or at least 2 a week.
It should be like 15 a week. Like there are
No, you're right.
some consoles that have one game. Like there should be way more than that. It should be like there's New Music Friday, and every Friday, like a dozen albums drop across all the consoles or something like that. But
yeah, I think Guitar Hero got more songs than this, and they had to like program a game around the songs they released and license them from other people.
Right.
So yeah, it is kind of
it's painfully
annoying.
slow. You are right.
Yes, Buckaroo. People waited 20 years for new Pokemon Snap. It has already been over 3 years just like that. Do any gamer-related things stand out to you like that? Years of waiting, it comes, and then we move on unceremoniously. Also, Mike, any recent additions to your collection? What are you looking for next? Oh, gosh, right after the election, I was like on my vacation. I'm like, self-care. I'm going to buy that $750 copy of Metroid Prime Wind Waker combo pack. Thank God it was sold out. They already sold it, so I didn't get it. Instead, I bought something stupid for the Wii, and now I can't remember what it is. I don't
remember what it was though.
Yeah, it was Soul Calibur Legends.
Right.
That's what it was, like $10. So yeah, I just picked that up. But no, I'm still looking for a good copy of Parasite Eve. They have a pretty good copy of Parasite Eve at my store, but it doesn't have that demo disc that was in it. And I'm like, if I'm going to buy this thing, I want it to have everything, including that demo disc. I also really want Blue Stinger for the Dreamcast. Like that's very high.
Sure.
More Dreamcast games in general. I like to have a better Dreamcast collection. But I definitely, compared to last year, slowed down a little bit there. I have a lot of what I want at this point.
As for this question, there are quite a few things that do this, right? Someone in chat mentioned Shenmue 3. I think that's a good example.
Right. Even Last Guardian was a little bit like that to me.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, I mean, this happens, right? I think it's happening to, it's not been 20 years, but it's happening to Mario and Luigi right now, right? People have been, hey, we're going to get a new Mario and Luigi. We get a new Mario and Luigi, and people are going to probably bury this thing because most people aren't going to be into it, it seems like. So, yeah.
Right, exactly. Cryorsa says, hey, dogs, which Nintendo character would host the best Thanksgiving meal? Love you guys. Gosh. I mean, Princess Peach probably has a staff.
Right.
I bet that they could, although it might be hoity-toity.
She'll make a cake, yeah.
Yeah, she'll make a cake. How much fun would it really? She'll get kidnapped, halfway through it.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't have to worry about that. That's the other guy's job, Mario's job. We could just keep eating. No one's going to bat an eye when she gets kidnapped. They're like, yeah, this just happens.
I want to go to 9 Volt's house. I want to 9 Volt's mom, I bet, makes a pretty good turkey.
Yeah, sure. I'll go downstairs and I'll eat with the toads. I'll have Thanksgiving dinner with the staff.
I for some reason I'm picturing Harry Potter house elves when you say it.
Kinda, a little bit, yeah. And I think it'd be very funny to just be kind of a giant sitting around a bunch of toads that are 3 feet tall. That'd be fun.
Sure. Sludge Reinhold says, what game series has the largest number of characters you care about? The no Goku's rule applies. I've played 8 Yakuza Like a Dragon games this year, and now there are easily 30 to 40 characters whose stories I'm deeply invested in. Oh, yeah, for sure. I definitely feel that way about Final Fantasy, even though, it's not always a lot of the same characters, but each game has a bunch of new characters that I generally will get invested in to a pretty strong degree. So 14 alone. Final Fantasy 14 alone has so many characters that I care about.
Yes, this is tough for me. I guess it might be something like Fire Emblem, where I played enough of those at this point where it's I really got attached to a lot of these soldiers and would be really devastated if I lost any of them. So I guess it's probably something like that.
Phoenix Wright also, actually. There's a lot of just characters in Phoenix Wright that I like. I hope the best for this person.
Yeah.
I just want to see them thrive and be happy. Bison Brew says, I've been playing Super Metroid and NSO. That game seems like it'd be really hard without the benefit of save states and rewind you get through emulators. Did most people actually complete this on the original hardware without those benefits? Seems like it would be pretty frustrating, especially one section with acid water and tiny grapple zones let you traverse. Thank you. Sorry for the long question. No, it's fine. I mean, it depends on the game. Like, to me, Super Metroid that's not really one I think of as like being especially hard, at least for me, and being save state required. I think a decent amount of people did just legitimately beat Super Metroid back in the day.
I think the first time I played it, I definitely played it. You know, maybe it wasn't shoot hardware. It might have been like a port to something. It was probably shoot hardware. But I didn't use save states. I remember that. So must have been something like that. Yeah, it's I kind of get it because, like, you know, you make progress, and if you feel like you're going to lose that progress, it could be pretty devastating. But yeah, it's not too tough. You kind of just got to keep pushing forward and something like that.
I guess I don't know, like, your age, Bikes and Brews, but I mean, gosh, compared to a lot of the games I was playing around that time, pretty forgiving in a lot of ways. Actually, the fact that you could save and reload even was actually not a gimme back then at all.
Yep.
Like games like, to me, that, if you're going to play that today, you better use save states unless you plan to just really grind through it like a Ninja Gaiden. Play like Ninja Gaiden for the NES.
Yes,
try to just beat that organically, right?
I think I got to the final boss in that game. And again, that was shoot hardware, and I don't think I ever beat the final boss because it's like a kind of a gauntlet.
It's like 3 phases, and they're all hard.
Yes.
So it's like,
and I think I like
really
Call of Duty
difficult
at the time, and I was like, I'm just gonna go back to Modern Warfare. Screw this.
Mm-hmm. Right, or like Battletoads. No one beat Battletoads for the NES.
Right.
No one. No, without Game Genie. Nobody just actually beat. I'm sure. I know some people did, but come on, like the percentage is so low. JD Camp says, would Noobs be better or worse as a musical? Oh, way better. Everything's better as a musical. Can you imagine how bad a net would be if it wasn't also a terrible musical? Right.
Yeah, good point, man. I need those songs to get me through that. I love Annette at this point, but boy, that is a nightmare to imagine that movie without songs. Yeah, Noobs would be better with music. Part of it's like, because a song's got to end. So sometimes in those scenes without the music and Noobs, it's like, this might never end. Is what it feels like.
And now I kind of want to write just the opening song to the Noobs musical. It's like one of those things where we're kind of like jumping between the different characters and setting up all their stories and what's going on, right?
Right, with like the underlying theme of we're gamers and we're here, we're not going anywhere, and you should be sexually attracted to us.
Yes, yeah, we're very sexy. Like, that's a big plot point. It's like how sexy these awful, gross gamers are.
Yep.
Zelda Williams tells us.
Honestly, Jay just tells her. She's like, you're sexually attracted to me because of all these gamer things I do. It's so awkward.
Right. Johnny Boy says, if you were to adapt a Nintendo game into either a Broadway musical or film musical, what would it be? Oh, good. More musical stuff. Earthbound. Even if I haven't beaten, I feel like Earthbound is definitely the right choice here.
Yeah. I would go with I'm sorry, it's blanking. What's the N64 game where you destroy stuff with trucks?
Oh yeah. Now Blast Core. You
Blast
had me
Core.
blank on it too.
Yes.
Blast Core would be pretty good. I'd like that too. I mean, not because I watch freaking Crystal Coconut. I'm thinking Donkey Kong Country would also work.
It's already a great musical then. There you go.
They already got us. There was actually some pretty decent songs in there. I'll give it that. Halfway through, the songs started to dry up, and it just became a real weird, bad-looking cartoon instead.
Yeah, they're like, we just got to get through this episode order that we're responsible for and get out of here.
Beef Hammer says, hey, boys. So here in Columbus, they are opening up 2 more Chick-fil-A's near the Polaris Mall Center around me. But the problem is one already exists here, so we now have 3 Chick-fil-A's, as in what I estimate is a 2-minute driving radius. Now, I don't want to get political, but I am planning to force our local leaders to address this. Like, imagine if one of these was instead a combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell. We could sell 2 Chick-fil-A's plus a Pizza Hut and a Taco Bell in a 2-minute radius instead. If you increase the radius to 3 minutes, you can include our combination KFC and Long John Silver's. We already have 2. What are your thoughts on this issue? Look, I was gonna say it. Like, I'm not coming out on either side of it. The fuckers here, Jeff, in Youngstown, Ohio, They love Chick-fil-A more than anything. They like it more than God.
Yes.
And they like God quite a bit.
Yeah,
But they
no, totally.
like Chick-fil-A more.
Yeah, like on certain days where it's like, is that a traffic cop just for the Chick-fil-A? It's like, oh, it's gotten out of hand. And I have enjoyed Chick-fil-A's food, but it's never something I'm like, oh, I gotta have Chick-fil-A right now or I'm gonna fucking die. And it's like these people will die if they don't get their Chick-fil-A, which is crazy. It's closed on Sundays. I don't like what do they do on those days? Yeah, right. I used to live like 3 minutes from where he's describing, Polaris Park Place, Polaris Mall, and that I've been back there in the last couple of years, and it's just it expands in this like unnatural way. It's just gotten so like there's like a big shopping center, and then there's the Polaris Mall, and then behind the mall, it's just like a million new shops have opened up back there and restaurants. And so, yeah, I'm not surprised to hear this, that like maybe they just forgot about the other two Chick-fil-A's when they built this third one, because it seems like the kind of place where that would happen.
Christian has somehow tweeted at me and found the card for the biddies from Whoville. Just seeing at this really like did a Ratatouille flashback to me. Holy shit. Only $4 rent at the biddies. If you have one Who present, though, it goes up to $20. That's like houses in Whoville.
Oh, man, the biddies are on the way up.
Oh, if you have a Who tree there, it's $450. Incredible stuff. Happening at the biddies.
But the Who tree's happening at the biddies.
The Who tree at the biddies. That's the ghetto. That's it for the mailbag, Jeff. Why don't we take one more break? We'll come back. If there's any more super chats, we'll read those. We'll talk to you about Brothership and Tetris.
Tiggle.
All right, break.
I'm gonna take the dog out.
Sure.
Oh shit, Noom sees some movie.
What?
Noobs is on movie.
Noobs is on Mubi?
Yeah, you know what movie is?
I mean, it sounds like Tubi.
It's like Tubi, exactly. It's
Okay.
exactly like Tubi.
All right.
But it's like the bad Argentinian. Well, Tubi is already bad, so imagine how fucking bad this is.
You guys watch those like free with ad like TV online services that have like channels dedicated to Sonic the Hedgehog and shit like that?
Yeah, I used to all the time. Yeah. Right. Well, actually, no. I still watch one, Retro Crush. It's all 90s. Familiar. It's all 80s, 90s, mostly 90s, a little 80s, a little early 2000s anime. So it's all
okay.
Like,
sure, yeah.
I watch Pluto TV. Yep. And you know what's really, 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 really good is Plex. Plex has a lot.
Yeah, Plex is like that's the one where like I'm on my Plex server and then I
their ad supported channels.
Yeah, they have like their live TV ad supported channels and they've got a ton of stuff on there now. It's pretty decent.
This shit is hilarious. If you have the any subscription or like if you have like the lifetime plan, whatever the fuck. They will not show you the ad. They will just show you like this weird B-roll of like cities and like countryside.
Yeah,
it's pretty funny and it's That's how we started watching. Stuff. Yeah, Beyond Belief, Facts or Fiction.
Sure, yeah.
With Jonathan Frakes.
Those like Pluto TV services and things like that are like a ton of people watch it because it's just built into TVs. So when people
and it's just TV, but you don't have to pay for it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So they just like put it on. It's like a default like option on a lot of TVs. So people just start watching it without even thinking about it.
My dad got just like a cheapo smart TV from Walmart or whatever, the On brand. He just watches Pluto all day because he's like, well, this is just like TV as I've always known it. I don't have to pay for it, and it's like having over the air, but it's really, really specific stuff. It's like old TV shows, old cartoons.
Exactly. It's syndicated TV, but some of the channels are like just this one show.
Yeah. They have here. Pluto TV has all the over-the-air channels like live.
Oh, okay.
It's like, what's
cool.
the fucking point of having like any type of cable, even like an over-the-air antenna? So like, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna watch Pluto TV all day, motherfucker. No. Naruto, let's go.
Now, what I'm wondering is, Mike, is biddies spelled with T's or D's?
Oh, D's. There's D's and the biddies. Biddies.
Biddy's
I should have gone and gotten
something different where I'm from, but
oh God, I want to play some Whoville so bad.
We should make that happen. It'll be December when we hang out.
We could like set a new goal on the Patreon or something. If we hit it, I'll come over to your house and we'll play that, and I'll tell you about my Disney trip.
Let's do that.
That'd be incredible.
Just have a video of that. Just like a wide angle shot, and like we forget the camera's there eventually, and that's what gets us canceled.
Yeah, we finally just
we drunk as hell in like 30 minutes, and playing.
Yeah,
we can set. Yeah, we can set like a super chat goal where like we have.
There's this super chat goals.
Amount of money on super chat. Yeah. All right. Sounds like a plan.
The goal, super chat goal that I set 30 minutes ago did just expire. We did not reach our goal, which is I will insult Mike. So, Mike, you're spared this episode.
Well, thank God. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.
It's enough with me. All right. You want to jump back in?
Yeah. Jeff, what do you think of that live-action Grinch Who Stole Christmas movie with Jim Carrey?
I think I like it. Like, it's weird. I think
it's very weird.
Yeah, and I think all Ron Howard movies are just he's kind of weird. Like, he's got obviously like Apollo 13. I love Apollo 13, but
Backdraft. You know, I'm a big Backdraft guy.
Yeah. But it's like, man, this is one of those movies where like, I think we could just do this. Should we just do this? And then they just start making it. And like halfway through, it's like, what have we done here? But they can't stop.
It was like insanely expensive.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey is both the Grinch, but also just Jim Carrey. Like he's doing a lot of his like, I'm Jim Carrey, a living cartoon character shtick.
Right.
Like he's the genie from Aladdin where he can just sort of change clothes and like do impersonations randomly.
And that's what they're definitely, they were paying for that. That is like, that's what they sold that movie on. And I think it worked. And it was very, very, very successful, right?
Very successful. Well, that's why they greenlit that Cat in the Hat movie with Mike Myers.
God, Jesus Christ. I do think about that one up quite a bit. The thing with the Grinch I always remember is the suit he was wearing was so oppressive to be in. He had to like talk to like Navy SEAL scuba divers to like get like tips about how to like not go insane inside the suit.
Yeah, withstand the pain.
Yeah,
it was. You know what it was? It was the eye, the lenses. He needed to have the Grinch eyes. That's what the pain he was suffering so much.
Right, yeah. At a certain point, it's like, they are giving me $20 million for this picture, but it's like, God, you sound like you are suffering.
Gosh, remember the extensive backstory sequence for the Grinch?
Yep.
There's like they had to like animatronic puppet.
Right, they had to take this 45-minute movie. I don't know, a book, whatever, but like it was based on the early animated film. It was like 45 minutes was on TV for an hour-long special, and turned it into a feature-length film, and it was it is a weird piece of shit in a lot of ways.
And there's like the weird romance subplot too. It's a weird movie, man. I kind of like it because it is so weird, but it's fucking weird.
And then I watched that Gossip Girl show on CW, and I watched like the first season of that. And I'm like, where do I know this girl from? And it was like, eventually I put it together. Oh, that was Cindy Lou Who, and she was on that show.
Shit. They still play "Where Are You Christmas" on the radio. That's a pretty good song.
Yeah, it's a good rendition.
It's a good Christmas song.
Yeah,
I like that song because there's like a character arc in that song that gets resolved very fast in the radio version. It's like, oh, where are you, Christmas? I liked you when I was young, and now I don't. Then all of a sudden, she's like a bridge and a keychain. She's like, oh, maybe Christmas is good. Then she's like, yeah, fuck yeah, Christmas.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, all right, we did it. We went through this crisis of identity.
Is like the radio version sung by someone? Is that Faith Hill?
That sounds right. I'll look at
okay.
Where are you, Christmas? Yes, it is Faith Hill.
So glad I found you. Yeah.
Yep. There you go. Faith. Of course, it's Faith Hill.
That song was written by Mariah Carey. Holy shit.
Oh my God! Why didn't they just get Mariah Carey to do it?
Yeah, really good question. I don't know.
God. Now I'm watching this music video, and I miss these music videos.
Yes.
they green screen her into shots.
Yeah, that's the best shit. God, we used to have everything. God damn it.
When you think, sorry,
I was gonna say I liked occasionally we still get stuff like that the Top Gun song from Lady Gaga, where she is just gonna dress up as a hot Air Force pilot or whatever, and then there will be clips from the movie. That's still great, but green screening into the movie is such a next level thing to do. I love it.
What movie do you like? What song do you think of the most when you think of like that kind of music video from the 90s?
It's probably the Armageddon song from Aerosmith. I guess that was
that's a good one.
Like early 2000s or whatever. But
I always think of Seal, Kiss Kiss.
That's you're right. That's the Mount Rushmore for sure.
That's the one I think of every time.
That's
I think
George
that song
Washington.
was bigger than the movie.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
so, again, God, Batman Forever. You watch that and it just seems so weird. I'm like, and it's like you have to understand. That was the biggest movie.
That was a cultural event that everyone was a part of.
Yes. Oh God, the glasses that we got from the fast food restaurant.
Yeah, the cups you can get. Like, was that Burger King or McDonald's or whatever?
I think it might have been Burger King.
I think it was Burger
King. Again, Jim Carrey just owned everyone. How many degrees separation is Jim Carrey from Nintendo? Because he's got a direct line to Sega now. Which is funny.
I feel like there's a chance like he did a Nintendo DS commercial or something, but
Robin Williams did, right?
Well, yeah, and so did Beyonce. So,
anyways, Jeff, I know I should have played Brothership. I have it installed on my Switch. I have a fucking Nintendo podcast. I should have played it. I just kind of didn't want to. I kind of just don't want to. And I know the reviews aren't bad, but everybody just, I don't know. The vibe seems a little nonplussed. I don't know if you can maybe sway me on it.
I mean, I do think I'm still mostly enjoying it. I just have some issues with it. I wish it was better. I think that there is a few areas. I think if they spiced up the writing a little bit, just punched it up, if they would get out of its way a little bit more here and there. I don't think it's as aggressive as Dream Team in terms of stopping the gameplay, but it does happen very frequently in the early parts of the game where it's stopping stuff. But it's usually like a couple of like dialogue boxes that you can button through, and then you're through it and you're back into the game. So that hasn't been too painful for me. And now that I'm like past most of that stuff and I'm learning like, oh, okay, there's all this stuff to go explore. It was intimidating to like see the map open up and be like, holy shit, I thought there was going to be like this little section over here. And it's like 5 times the size of that. This game is going to be enormous. I don't know if I need all that, but the more I play, the more I enjoy it. So I think I'm probably still like at a 3-star game. I don't think it'll go up to a 4-star game in my estimation, but I'm definitely like, oh no, this is a game I like and that I am mostly still glad that I'm playing. Although, you know, in the last couple of days, I have not booted it up and was thinking about, I should go beat Echoes of Wisdom, and I'm playing Rise of the Golden Idol, and boy, is that just absolutely scratching an itch. What else should you beat? What's that?
What else should you beat?
And then, of course, Thousand Year Door. Like, that's what I'm trying to beat Echoes of Wisdom, and I was going to go back to Thousand Year Door. That's the plan. And then, you know, and then I got Tetris Forever now, and I'm super into that because it's the Gold Master series. So, yeah, I will keep playing Mario and Luigi. I will. But as we get closer and closer, and I got this vacation coming up, and I get on the other side of that, and it's just a straight sprint into Game of the Year. Yeah, it's going to be right there. So it's like I might have to like just pick a game or two that I really want to think about maybe as like, hey, I didn't play this yet. I want to have something else to talk about for Game of the Year, and that won't be Mario and Luigi.
Does it have like boring opening RPG syndrome? That's the other thing too. It's like, man, even if I start Mario and Luigi Brothership, I'm gonna get to play like the first few hours, and I almost kind of dread that part, especially modern Mario RPGs. I don't know.
Yeah, like there's definitely, it's like, I don't have the hammer yet. There's a big button right there, and it's like you're gonna get the hammer pretty soon after that. But it's like, what? And then it's like, right. I feel like I should have another like power, and it's like, oh yeah, I don't have the shell that opens up some bro power stuff, and okay, well now I got that, and then it's you'd be like, okay, well there's still these other like things on this early island where I can't do this thing yet. Like I can't go from this platform to that far away platform. And it's like, okay, so I still don't have some of the bro power abilities for traversal. And so like that stuff feels pretty annoying at first. And then, you know, I don't know. Beyond that though, it's pretty. In
terms of like story setup though, is it like spending a long time being like, you're in a new place, we're going to really describe it to you in detail. And here's these new people. Here's this guy and here's this person and this guy.
I feel like the first island you go through is like 45 minutes. So that stuff goes pretty brisk. It goes pretty fast, right. I think.
That's fine.
It's not like it still has some of the vestiges of that kind of game, but I think for the most part it goes relatively quickly.
Yeah, how is Tetris Forever though? You're a big Tetris guy. You like these kind of historic packages also. How you feeling about this?
Yeah, it's everything I think people would want it to be. It is the video game museum thing that Mike Micah's team is really good at now. They hired Area 5 to do a lot of the documentary work, and it's excellent. It looks great. They did a lot of new interviews. They have a lot of archival footage in there. They talked to Alexei Pajitnov. They talked to Hank Rogers. I can't remember the other guy's name, Hank. And every time they have so much cool insight into everything. And it's like these small little chunks of video, and then that's interspersed with, here's a look at Polyminos, the game that inspired Tetris, and here's some factoids about that. And now let's get back into another short video, 2 minutes maybe, that'll tell you about some, or tell you about Alexei's history with that game, and he'll talk about it and things like that. And it's so well done, so well presented, that it's everything I wanted to be. And I haven't even played any of the games yet. I've not touched any of the games in this package, which is extensive. It's robust. But just here is a presentation of the importance and history of Tetris. Very few developers out there doing it better than Digital Eclipse, right? That's the name. Yes. And yeah, they're just crushing it.
All right. Cool. Hey, we got any more super chats?
I think we do. Yeah, let me take a look here. Okay, I think we did this one. Yes. So Symbiosis says, does Nintendo ever do a second console again, or stuck in the Switch format forever? Maybe a modern take on the SP with only a few games a year. I think like maybe a more handheld next to the Switch, which is the hybrid. No, they don't, right?
Probably not. I think you'll get your watch maybe that Jan wants, right?
Yeah, you're gonna get the holiday product, which is kind of what the class I am putting stuff like the mini consoles and the Game & Watch stuff, and now Alarmo. They will have that to go along with the Switch, and they'll have one of those maybe every year for the foreseeable future, or about every year, and that'll be their secondary product. And I think they're very happy to like play around in that space and try new things. And eventually that maybe does lead them to something similar to what you're describing here, a Game Boy Advance game that gets a handful of games, or maybe even new games, possibly like 4 games you can only play on this small little device. That stuff is possible, but it won't be like a secondary console to the primary Switch thing. They're going to keep those resources on the Switch because that was the whole point of the console. The last super chat here is from Burrito. Grubb, I just realized what your new haircut looks like. I was just listening before. And you are basically a John Wick henchman. Good luck. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, it goes well for them.
Yeah, it always goes. Yeah, exactly. Keanu Reeves can kill me. That'd be a good way to go.
I don't want you to die.
All right.
Thanks, bud. That does it for the super chats.
Thank you, everybody. Fantastic. All right. Well, it's a podcast then. We did it. Did you just push a beat button?
Yeah, I just really thought about how I feel. Piece of shit. I mean, I forgot to beep it.
You didn't get that goal, remember?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Sorry. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. All right.
Oh, yeah, I do. This is a jobber haircut. That's right, Wiesman. That is what I look like. I look like enhancement talent.
Why don't we get out of here?
All right, I'm at the button. Here you go.
Hey, are we doing Black Clone tomorrow? Do you know yet?
Check Slack.
I
don't
earlier
know.
today, I gotta take my car to the garage to get work done, but I'll be done around 3. Whatever. I'm sure we'll do something. So we'll do that.
All right, I'm asking Lucy now. We'll find out soon.
We're good for this Thursday's Game Best Asides. Then you're going to be on vacation, but we'll still have episodes. Yep. In fact, H's already messaged me saying he wants to do it next Thursday. Is next Thursday Thanksgiving? Or
yes.
Is that the Thursday after?
Next Thursday is I'm out of town, and then the Thursday after that is Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we'll worry about that then. So next Thursday, Andrew will be here for that. We'll get somebody for Nintendogs, maybe Sean, whoever else.
Hey, we got Sean.
It'll be good. We got Sean, everybody.
Sean.
Say hello to everybody, Sean.
Hi.
Hi, there he is.
I'll talk about the rumors of that State of Play in December, which is probably not happening, everybody, on Game of Mornings tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
I know there were rumors. It's going to be a poll for Game Mess Game Club soon.
Let's
New Columbros is on the channel, by the way, too.
Yeah, listen to Columbros.
Oh yeah.
Go rub your yellow Pikmin's ears.
Don't do that. That's assault.
Although they like it.
I love that shit.
This is what I think about you two.
Oh yeah.
I have to